Hello and welcome to Health Live at Seniors Today. We are here with the fifth edition of our monthly counseling forum with Dr. Monika Dass. You all know Dr. Das, but since there are maybe some people who are watching this for the first time, Dr. Das is a chartered psychologist, a chartered scientist, and an associate fellow of the British Psychological Society of the UK. But she is based here in India, in Aurangabad. Professionally, she has counseled over 13,000 individuals in a span of over 21 years and has published several papers in Indian and international journals. She is attached to a leading school in Aurangabad, in Maharashtra, and she has been conducting the counseling forum for us for the last 5 months. And as those of you who attended this earlier know that it's a huge success. Thank you once again, Dr. Das, for being here for the fifth edition of the counseling forum. We are having a slight technical issue with Dr. Das's connectivity. So in case we miss out on something, I have requested her to be on audio and put her video off. I hope that's okay with all of us. Over to you, Dr. Das. How have you been? How has been the last month? A lot of cases in Aurangabad and as in the rest of Maharashtra?
Increasing. I think we're about 40 plus today in Maharashtra. And our achievement is down. So let's see what happens in the next 10 days or 2 weeks.
Right. So what do we discuss today, Dr. Das? Is this we've looked at various aspects. Is there something special that you would like to look at focusing on, and then we can?
I'm just going to start with something. I want to do an exercise in about say 7 or 10 minutes, and then we can go into a question and answer.
All right, great.
Okay. So this is just something for you to think about. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We do not just stay in bungalows, duplexes, or flats. We live in our mind, which is an area. Life is great when things are sorted. So I'm talking about our mind. Keeping the mind messy, with hatred growing on the table, regrets piling up in a corner, expectations boiling in the kitchen, secrets stuffed under the carpet, and worries littered everywhere. All this ruins real homes. The key factor to performing well in life and is to control the quality and the quantity of our internal dialogue. Performance is potential minus internal interference. So the basic idea is to live in peace and not in pieces. Couple of ideas on how to remove negative thoughts. One is to get busy and to move around. So when you recognize a negative thought coming into your mind, get busy. If you sit, you will keep thinking a lot. So the first point is the second body. You may find it's a little strange what I'm going to suggest to you, but it does. Lie down on the floor on a carpet and just roll yourself. So as I was saying, to clear your mind of negative thoughts and to live a fulfilled life, one is to get busy and move around. The second thing was to improve circulation in your body. So basically, you need to lie down on the floor on a carpet and roll around from left to right till your circulation starts improving. And gradually your mind will start uncluttering itself. And this does work. The third thing is to basically resist negative thoughts entering your head because they do follow you like a ghost. So instead of that, face the thought that you have in your mind, and you will notice that it moves away very quickly. It just disappears. I know this sounds a little lame, but it does work. So thoughts are basically scared of us. The moment you get a negative thought, face it head on, it will disappear. And instead of the negative thought controlling you will be able to function better. The last thing which I have mentioned in some of my previous sessions is pranayama and meditation does work. There's a short exercise that I would like to do with you. We've been taught in terms of homeopathy, many doctors have talked about clapping your hands. And they suggest that clapping your hands basically improves your immunity levels. And I thought it would be good for you to understand why this would help us in these uncertain times. And hopefully, maybe you would be able to carry it out at home when you are free. So we clap our hands when we are happy, we want to cheer somebody, or we want to encourage somebody. But basically, it has been scientifically proven that clapping is very effective to cure several diseases. Clapping activates receptors in the palm, which are obviously connected to the rest of our body. And this causes activation of the large area of the brain, which leads to improvement in health. Now, there are 39 different acupressure points for almost all organs in our palms. And the action of clapping removes obstacles from the main and collateral channels, which forms a network of passages through which vital energy basically moves around and circulates. So clapping expels cold and toxins from the body. It enhances circulation. As a result of this, your immunity levels improve. Now, life-threatening heart conditions, hypertension, diabetes, depression, asthma, a common cold, arthritis, headaches. Can you hear me? Can somebody respond?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Great. So, as I mentioned, headaches, insomnia, and hair loss could be cured with clapping. So, what do you do? Before you clap, you apply a little bit of mustard oil or some coconut oil on the palms of your hands. And just before you do that, you put on a pair of socks and leather shoes. This is important, not your sneakers and things, but leather shoes, which helps control the leakage of energy waves, which is generated through the body. And then you just strike both your palms against each other from right to left. And basically, you need to keep your palms straight. Now, you need to do this for 10 to 20 minutes a day. It seems long, but if you're watching television or you're chatting with a family member, you could do this exercise, put on an alarm clock if you need to, and you will find in the long run, all these connections, whatever you're doing with your palms, your fingers, all this will start working for you. And you may find an improvement just within your body in terms of feeling better. And I would be very interested if some of you can come back with some feedback once you've tried this out. I've been doing this regularly every morning, and it seems to be working for me so far. I can see a general improvement in my health, so I thought I'd suggest this to you in case you would like to do this. Right, so we can go into the question and answers. Remember, I just want to sum up. Learn to unclutter your mind, get busy and move around, improve circulation in your body, tackle your negative thoughts head on, and pranayama and meditation do help. And then try and do the clapping of hands regularly so that putting coconut oil and mustard water for 10 to 20 minutes a day. It will help, it will work. Over to you, thank you.
10 to 20 minutes. That's a very long period.
It seems a long time.
I was trying to do it for just 15 seconds. It seemed to be very long.
I know. But that's what I said. If you're chatting with somebody, a family member, or you're watching television, this may just work.
But then the focus is not there. The mind should be there. The attention should be on the clapping, right?
So the attention will be there on the clapping automatically.
If I'm watching IPL, and I could be doing that for the next 1.5 months with ease, you know. No, I'm sorry, I'm not making light of it. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
but
understand.
you can't go up like this.
I could well be clapping, you know. But since you're doing it yourself, obviously it means that you are that is
it,
working for
it
you.
it helps. Yeah,
And
it
the very
is.
fact that you're saying that it can happen with you could be doing things simultaneously. It doesn't mean very much, right? You can the attention shouldn't necessarily have to be on the clapping.
True. Just as long as your fingers and your hands are connecting.
All right. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try out for 2 minutes to start with, and then move to
Okay.
try to work towards 10. Okay, so we have a couple of questions I've got by uh, uh, by email earlier, and the first one is an anonymous attendee who says, "Doctor, since the number of COVID cases has increased, I have been getting exceedingly nervous, and I don't really know what to do. What do I?" Just that. That's
My
the
friend, I think many of us are.
yeah
Can
yeah.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. So the question
Okay.
was that this
I heard
anonymous.
the question.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there are a lot of very nervous people around. I mean, why I brought up this trying to remove negative thoughts from your mind. Please try out a couple of those exercises which I've mentioned. The main thing with this whole COVID-19 business is listen to the news. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. The numbers going up is not going to help you and your mind. But the fact is, you still need to keep yourself healthy. You really do need to keep yourself healthy. You need to keep yourself busy. So please do not just sit around for hours on end in the house. Move around, do stuff. If you need to do your spring cleaning again, start that. But just keep busy. And my strong suggestion is for you, as long as it's safe, do step out and go for a walk. Physical activity is very important. Keeping in touch with your friends is very important, as also family. But if you do have a couple of friends, one or two, who are physically okay and you feel it's safe enough to meet them, say in your building society or just close by. Human relationships is very important, and we all thrive on that and we survive on that. So it's not just about just hanging around with your family and spending quality time with them, but it is really necessary for us to catch up with friends also. So from time to time, you can't do this every day, but on the weekend, on a Friday or Saturday, just catch up over a cup of coffee or a drink, whatever you're comfortable with, and spend at least 1.5 hours together. Obviously, social distancing and with your masks on. But that energy, that time that you spend together is what revives you and refreshes you for the next week. So the main idea is for you to beat the monotony. That is what I'm trying to get you to do. Beat the monotony of staying at home and being in a flat, because many of you are in Bombay in flats, and there's a limit to how much you can do within a flat. So you do need to move around a bit.
We envy you because you're in Aurangabad and you have a larger space to move around.
Thank you. I live on a 20-acre campus.
Wow. You have all the space in the world. Okay, we've got 3 questions from Mr. KV Lakshminarayan. The first one is he says clapping, a bit of elaboration is needed. Coconut oil on palm and leather shoes with or without socks.
Okay, so let me start again. Before you put the oil on your palms, socks and leather shoes. Have you got that? Did you get that?
Yeah. So leather.
So socks and leather shoes.
Yeah.
Leather shoes, not rubber, not sneakers, not chappals.
Okay. We lost. Yes. You're back. You're back.
Yeah. So leather shoes and socks, not sneakers or chappals or anything like that. The other thing is, once you've done that, you sit down and do whatever you're doing, in terms of watching television or something. You apply mustard oil or coconut oil on the palms of your hands. And this is the way you clap. You have to clap straight. So don't go down. Don't do anything different. Keep your hands as straight as you can. And a slow clap. So your fingers are connecting all the time. You've got your fingertips. You've got everything else connecting.
Right. Mr. Lakshmi has another question. He says, clutter in the room. This does bring about negativity. Take it head on, you said. How?
No, I'm talking about your thoughts. I said, take your thoughts head on, your negative thoughts.
Gurdeep Straw.
So as the moment a negative thought comes in.
Gurdeep Straw asks, leather soles is what I understand is important. Please confirm.
Yes.
Leather soles also.
Yes.
And
yes.
Do you need to, like have polish your shoes shining, etc., or is it okay to, is there some?
Just a clean pair of shoes.
Just a clean pair of shoes. All right.
A clean pair of leather shoes. Yeah.
Mr. Lakshminarayan asks another question. Can you please mention about rolling over? As the audio was not very clear, can you please repeat the rolling over?
Okay. So if you've got a rug in the room or a carpet, something which is soft, even a razai will do on the ground. You just lie down and you just twist your body over from side to side. So the action of rolling increases your circulation. And that circulation helps in uncluttering what's in your mind. It does work, believe me. So, but you need to do this consciously without thinking too much. You roll over, come back and roll over again. It's difficult to roll fully because we're all very, maybe different sizes. So it's difficult to do a clean roll. But so that's why I'm saying just roll over from one side as much as you can and then come back to the other side.
Interesting. Mr. Rajesh Verma says we can do clapping along with the bhajan. In fact, the thing is that the bhajans require a certain amount of clapping. So is that perhaps why?
Yeah, this is a superb idea. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think this is a terrific idea. Thank you for mentioning this.
Right. So bhajans and Mumbai local trains have the bhajan mandalis. I don't know whether you're aware of them. So you can imagine there must be so much of, which is why they're able to manage in the local trains despite all the rush which exists, because the bhajan groups are there and they've been there for for the last 35 years. I've been traveling by trains. When I traveled by train first time, they've been around. So I guess that's what gives them the energy. Is that, can one extrapolate that as a thought?
Yes, absolutely. I was just wondering whether you would like me to teach you a series of clapping exercises rather than just going. Like me to do that?
Yes.
If I can have a response.
Yeah, we could also get. Would others like to join? would you like others to be on camera and do it?
It's not necessary as long as they
Right.
can see what I'm doing, or if you want to bring them on camera.
Actually, we've not told them about it, so perhaps may not be a great idea, you know.
Yeah.
But
Fine.
you know,
Fine.
So let's. But a request to all of you: please participate. I know the connectivity is slightly low for Dr. Das, so don't worry about that. But yeah, let's do it. Even I'm going to get try to do it.
So you want to do it? Fine.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now this is for 1 minute. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay,
the first exercise that we start with is hitting your wrists for 1 minute. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Right to left. So that's the first one. The second one is you'd go from left to right. Again, another minute. So a minute right to left, a minute left to right.
I can hear
Has
the
everyone
sound
got
of the.
that?
I can hear the sound of the hitting. So how? What is the intensity with which you should hit your hand?
Just slow. Just slow. Not, don't whack yourself. You're just basically using both in the palm and this area, the hand.
Okay.
Okay. So 1 minute of this, 1 minute of this. That's 2 minutes gone.
Right.
Got that?
Yeah. Yeah.
The next one is this you have to do this for a full 1 minute. So what first is the wrist, and then palms for a minute. That's 3 minutes gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is without applying any oil and all that, right?
Together like this. You can do this with oil. Yeah, you have to do this with a little bit of oil.
Okay.
So you put your fingers together and all you do is twist it from left to right. So you are activating your palm, your fingertips, everything for a minute. Can you see this?
Yeah, we can see you.
So I'm going to repeat right to left on the wrist, left to right on the wrist, clapping 1 to 2, and then you get your fingers like this. These are just different actions. So if you get bored with this, you try something different where you're activating pressure points. Okay? Have you got that?
Yeah. And do you?
Are you with me?
Yes, we can hear you. And we now, what about what if one wants to apply cream because oil gets a little greasy?
Listen, if you want to, drop the oil for the moment and at least just get into the habit of clapping. Because this has been helping me for many months. That's why I'm trying to share it with you.
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay, it's been working. So now there's another one. You can do this. Can you see this action of mine? On the side. You're hitting the wrists on the side. I mean, sorry, you're hitting your fingers on the side, not your wrists. Okay, so a minute of that. The next one, if you can remember, is this is where you hit your wrists. So you are activating different points again. Difficult to remember?
This video is going to be on our site on Monday, so people can see it and also get an idea of what's what. So I guess it should help. Okay, so we have another question that has come in again on the mail, which says Doctor, over the last few years, I have been advised various medicines, and every time I meet the doctor, I'm told.
I've lost you.
The question is, doctor, every time I meet a doctor, I'm advised various medicines, and the doctor also tells me about uh, various medical ailments that I have, and I have become some kind of a hypochondriac, or that's what my wife says, and that's what my kids say. How do I get rid of this situation? I think since you are a psychiatrist, you may be able to answer this question well. Did you get the question? Did you get the question?
Sorry, I keep
Okay,
moving.
okay. So this is a person who says that he
I've
has been,
lost you.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a person who says that
Tell
he
me.
has, he has been meeting his doctor who advises various medicines and talks about his health conditions, and he has over a period of time become, as his family says, a hypochondriac. How does he get rid of this condition of his life? And he says that, since you are a psychiatrist, you should be able to answer this question well.
I need to correct you. I'm not a psychologist,
Yeah,
but the main thing with drug dependency is that once you've recognized that you are dependent on it, and if you're going to a doctor who is perhaps giving you very heavy medication, my first instinct would be to move out of his way. So stop going to him, but you have to find an alternative, you know. Homeopathy is extremely good. There are a lot of Ayurvedic doctors. So alternative therapy may work for you if you need help, in certain areas. But don't get into this habit of heavy medication. It's not good for you. And if you find yourself, sleeping a lot during the day, for example, it means that whatever is being given to you is basically um, it's a sedative. You're being drugged in many ways. So you really need to be very careful, because you also want to have your senses alert. You want to be aware of what's going on, and things like that. So you really, first find an alternative source. B, definitely drop this doctor. Um, and I speak from experience, by the way, not that I was heavily medicated, but the moment you find something's not working, just drop the doctor. That's my main advice to you. But find an alternative source. And if you believe in taking homeopathy, please find a good homeopathic doctor. I can recommend somebody as usual. If you believe in, say, something like Ayurveda, find a source for that, from that.
Though, Dr. Das, the thing is that I don't know what the status of this person's health is, but, he may well be in a situation where he can't really uh, stop taking medical advice or going to a doctor. So in that sense, uh, and perhaps he is of the type who is a bit of a hypochondriac and does speak with people a lot, and inquires, and and that's how he is subjected to a host of information.
Okay. I don't know the person, but
Yeah, so
offhand, this is what I would suggest if you find yourself landing in trouble.
right, right. Uh, there is another question which has come in, which says, uh, Dr. Das, is it a better idea to do yoga, or is it a better idea to do aerobics and some heavy physical exercise for overall mental health? What do you recommend that one does first thing in the day?
So, madam, I don't know your age, but I think with age, we need to be very careful doing very heavy exercise. So, gymming is not a good idea, particularly if you've not been doing this for many years. Walking, definitely, an early morning walk for about, you can start with about 2.5 or 3 kilometers and then increase it to about 5. So, definitely an early morning walk. I always recommend yoga. I find that yoga invariably, it just doesn't tone the body. It helps you mentally, it tones your mind. Your reflexes are sharper, your thinking is sharper. You know, there's a whole difference in the body when you do yoga. So if you can find a group session where yoga is being taught, teacher, somebody, no, I wouldn't suggest somebody at home, but there's a lot of online teaching going on these days. And if you're comfortable with that, find a good teacher. And yoga and walking, these are two things which you must do as you grow older. Just don't let go.
Right. I think what you're saying is right. Yoga is perhaps the way to go. But as somebody had asked me once earlier, there are various forms of yoga, right? There are some yoga modes which are slightly more aggressive in terms of the way they do the yoga. So, is there something specifically that you would?
Thank you for bringing this up. Yeah. So yeah, the thing is, there are a variety of yoga teachers, and you've got different types of yoga being but the main thing is, even, I mean, I have a teacher who comes home regularly, but there are certain asanas, excuse me. Sorry, my throat caught. There are certain asanas which you can't do, and you need to be very, very careful, and you need to be very clear with your teacher, whoever's teaching you, and be firm with them also so that you cannot do what they are trying to get you to do. So I'm very clear with my teacher when she tries to get me to do something where, for example, my lower back, I can feel a slight pain. And I'm very firm with her that I can't do it. I'm not prepared to do it. And you need to be very alert when you're learning from somebody. So don't hesitate to say that. But when you're in a group session, you have to explain to your teacher beforehand certain things that you can do and you can't do so that they keep it in mind, when they're teaching you. This is important.
Right. Doctor, there was a question which had come in earlier, and the last time for you, and I kept it because I thought it was very interesting. This one says, Dr. Das, everybody says that I must meditate, but I'm just not able to do that. Every time I try to meditate, I think of 10 different things. How do you do it?
Meditation is not easy. I follow Paramahamsa Yogananda's, he's from Ranchi. I don't know if you've heard of Yogananda, but he started the YSS Ranchi ashram, and they have ashrams all over the world. But one of the very interesting things that I learned, they send you about 182 lessons where they do teach you energization exercises, meditation techniques, and Kriya Yoga if one wants to go forward. What I found very useful with the teachings is not that I'm not talking about religion over here, okay? So let's get that very clear. It was a very practical way of teaching us meditation. So they go through this very I mean, it's step by step, so it's done very carefully. And finally, you do learn how to meditate. So I can appreciate the fact that you can't sit down and meditate, offhand, just like that. But one thing that I can suggest to you as a beginner is to just concentrate on your breathing. So when you're breathing in and you breathe out, a lot of meditation involves breathing techniques, and this is just something I'm sharing with you offhand because I do meditation regularly. If you can just concentrate on the breathing, breathe out, focus third eye, just do it for a minute. Just do it for a minute. So I like
Can you
that.
just repeat that?
Shavasana. I like Shavasana too, sir.
Can you repeat what you said?
Concentrate on your third eye.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So, idea to meditation. You can 1 minute and increase it to 2 minutes and 3 minutes, whatever you can manage. Close your eyes and concentrate on your third eye and just breathe. Concentrate and focus on the breathing. So you breathe in and you breathe out. And you'll find once you've trained yourself in terms of just breathing in and breathing out in front of an open window, your mind will start, we all have monkey minds, it'll stop working, in that sense. Your thoughts will start moving and you'll just focus yourself on the art of breathing.
Right. Thank
So
you.
going back to what I said earlier, you need to find a good teacher who can teach you this technique. But this is what I would suggest from, as a beginner to start with.
Thank you, Dr. Das. I think today's counseling forum had lesser questions, and because you started with the exercise, and as it happened, we had quite a few questions regarding the exercises and the clapping exercises that you mentioned. We are at around 5:45 now, so we'll close at this time, at this hour. And thank you once again, Dr. Das, for this. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
We are looking at doing this perhaps now every other month, and in a slightly different format. And we'll keep you posted about it.
Fine.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Das, for spending another Saturday.
My pleasure.
With us. Hope the next time we're there with you, BSNL and all the forces of cyberspace correct the connectivity for you, and safe times to you.
My apologies about today.
No issues.
Thank you.
You
all the best and stay safe, everyone. That's the most important thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.